My Neighbor Totoro, a beloved story, cherished by so many, especially children, for its warmth, charm, and connection to nature. But what if I told you that hidden within this seemingly innocent story lies a dark and mysterious history rooted deep in ancient Japan? Today, we'll explore the deeper historical and spiritual meanings behind Totoro, drawing on research from folklore scholars and ancient Japanese legends to reveal the secrets that lie beneath Totoro's friendly exterior. Long ago, Japan was covered in vast, untamed forests, home to beings known as gods of the forest. Ancient people saw these gods as mysterious, powerful, and deeply intertwined with nature itself. Rather than mere mythical figures, these gods were revered and respected, and they inspired a deep sense of awe. In his works, like Tono Monogatari and Japanese folklore, the celebrated folklore scholar Kunio Yanagita explains that ancient Japanese mountains and forests were considered sacred. There were certain places humans were forbidden to enter, because these places were known as the domain of forest gods. Yanagita's work suggests that Totoro may indeed be one of these gods, a remnant of Japan's ancient spiritual beliefs. In Japan's Jomon period, an era over 10,000 years ago, the land stretched further than today's islands, forming what some scholars refer to as the Japanese peninsula. Dense forests covered much of this land, and among these ancient trees, gods of all sizes and shapes were said to dwell. But then came the Yayoi period, when rice cultivation spread through Japan. As humans cut down forests to plant rice paddies, they gradually pushed these gods away. Totoro, then, might be one of the last of these forest gods, still quietly inhabiting the land far from where humans tread. One of Totoro's mysterious friends, the Kapus, might seem whimsical and charming, but it too has a darker, mystical history. The Kapus is modeled after a type of Japanese spirit called a Beikiniko, or monster cat. In his famous work on Japanese folklore, the scholar Kaizen Sasaki describes how cats, after living for many years, can transform into Beikiniko, using their skills to confuse or even harm humans. The Beikiniko could change its shape to look like a human or an object, and was known for its mischievous, sometimes dangerous tricks. In the Edo period, they would disguise themselves as kego carriers, a type of ancient cart or dolls, often tricking people. The Kapus takes on this tradition, shape-shifting into a bus to blend in with modern society, yet still retaining its eerie spirit. If you look closely at the Kapus, you'll notice incredibly detailed touches: the headlights that are actually its eyes, the flickering lights along its body, the intricate windows, and the careful detailing of seats inside. These elements are more than playful details. They're a nod to the Kapus' roots as a Beikiniko, whose precise mimicry of human objects was crucial for tricking people. And in a special Studio Ghibli Museum exhibit called Mei and the Kitten Bus, you can even see a version of the Kapus that transforms into a train and a boat. This is a clear reference to the Beikiniko's ability to shapeshift, reminding us that even as a bus, Kapus is still a trickster spirit, cleverly adapting to its surroundings and misleading those who encounter it. Another important creature in Totoro's world is the suit sprites. or as they're affectionately called, Makuro Kurosuk. At first glance, these small, black, dust-like spirits seem harmless and cute, but they're based on the concept of tsukimogami objects that, after 100 years, gain a soul and transform into a spirit. In Japanese folklore, recorded as early as the Muromachi period in works like Onmyo Zatsuki, tsukimogami were everyday household items that, after years of neglect or misuse, developed a life of their own. They would play tricks on humans or move around by themselves, often startling those who encountered them. The soot sprites could be seen as tsukimogami, a combination of dust, soot, and forgotten remnants of old homes that have come together to create a tiny mischievous spirit. When May encounters these soot sprites, there is something strangely alive in the way they dart about, suggesting they may indeed possess that kind of old spirit energy, a spark of life that makes them more than just dirt or soot. Totoro himself isn't just a lovable forest creature. According to official Studio Ghibli settings, he is actually a god of the forest, who has lived for over 3,000 years. This backstory connects Totoro deeply to Japan's ancient beliefs in nature spirits and Shinto, the indigenous spirituality of Japan. Toshio Suzuki, the producer of Studio Ghibli, has said that Totoro represents the last remaining forest god in Japan. In Japan's Shinto tradition, gods of mountains, rivers, and forests are believed to watch over nature and interact with humans, sometimes offering guidance or protection in exchange for respect. Totoro's towering presence, nearly 2 meters tall, with an aura of calm yet powerful energy, reflects the dignity and power associated with these ancient gods. Even Totoro's gaze is a reminder of his ancient roots. He rarely looks directly at humans, instead staring off into the distance. This suggests that Totoro's mind may be on something far beyond the human world, on an ancient, perhaps eternal timescale, stretching back to Japan's ancient forests. One of the most interesting details in Totoro's home is the presence of a jomanara, clay pot or jomandoki. This ancient pottery isn't just decoration, it hints at Totoro's connection to Japan's Jomon people, and an era when gods and humans coexisted more closely. Jomon pottery is some of the oldest in Japan and represents the strong reverence for nature held by the Jomon people. In Studio Ghibli's work, the Jomon pot symbolizes Totoro's ties to these early humans, who may have once worshipped him as a god or guardian of the forest. The pot is perhaps a precious reminder of that ancient bond, a relic Totoro has kept all these years to honor the memory of a world in which nature and humanity shared a sacred connection. In interviews, director Hayao Miyazaki has suggested that Totoro's presence is like a living memory of ancient Japan, carrying within him the old spirit of the land and its early inhabitants. This sense of continuity through time is what makes Totoro's world feel so magical yet so nostalgic. Interestingly, there is also a connection between Totoro and the world of Princess Mononoke. The ancient gods and spirits in Princess Mononoke, like the boar god or the great wolf god, face their downfall as human beings encroach on their lands and disrupt the balance of nature. Miyazaki has explained that these gods are inspired by real deities, worshipped in ancient Japan and represent the struggle between humanity and nature. After the tragic end of the forest gods in Princess Mononoke, the last of these ancient spirits survive quietly into the modern era. As Totoro and his companion, the connection between humans and nature remains complex and deeply intertwined throughout Japanese history, reflected in how both Princess Mononoke and My Neighbor Totoro portray these relationships in different time periods. Totoro is more than just a children's character. He represents the history and fate of Japan's ancient gods, the tragedy of the forests and spirits that have faded over time. In modern Japan, where rapid industrialization and urbanization have replaced much of the natural landscape, Totoro's quiet existence reflects a deep nostalgia and respect for the wild places that were once so revered. Next time you watch My Neighbor Totoro, take a moment to think about the forgotten gods, the mysterious spirits, and the history of ancient Japan that all live quietly beneath the surface. Totoro is not only a friendly forest creature, but a link to something sacred and ancient, a reminder of the spiritual connection between people and nature that once thrived in Japan. Thank you for watching. If you found this video intriguing, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.